How's it going, everybody? It's Chris from Oddly Specific Films. Today, making a video about how much it costs to buy my 2025 Jeep Wrangler Willys 2-door with the 6-speed. Alright, so I don't want to waste anybody's time, so we're going to get right into it today. I'm going to talk about the actual price of it. I'm going to talk about some of the ongoing costs like financing and car insurance, gas, pretty much what it costs to actually own a Jeep. I'm sure a lot of people will find it helpful, so I wanted to make this video. So we're going to start off first with the actual cost of the Jeep itself. 2-door Jeep Wranglers start at $32,000, and I'll show the window sticker up there. Now with that, you only get a 2-door, you get a soft top, you only get the V6 and the manual. If you want the 4-door, I believe it's like $4,000 or $5,000 extra. If you want to buy an automatic, I think it's $2,500 extra. So next thing you know, you're up like a whole $10,000. Alright, so besides just the base model Jeep, I have the Willys package online, which will cost you a nice $7,500. I'm not going to go super in depth on what it includes because I talked about it in my other video, all the pros and cons of it, and plus you can see the window sticker right there. Next up, mine also has the convenience group, which comes with the heated seats and the heated steering wheel. It's got some of the other stuff, the front passive entry, air conditioning. I really just wanted the heated seats and the heated steering wheel, so that'll cost about $2,000. After the convenience group, I also have the black 3-piece hardtop with the Freedom panels in the front. That's the $1,800 option. And I almost forgot to mention the Hydro Blue paint is a $600 premium right there. Alright, last up is the destination charge, I guess to get my Jeep from Ohio to the dealership that sold it to me, which brings the total price to $45,875. That pretty much wraps up the actual window sticker price of my Jeep. I wanted to talk about what I actually paid for it. So Jeep has a lot of rebates going on, and especially if you're buying a 2024, you can get some really good deals on it. I think they have like $3,000 or $4,000 off, some 0% financing deals, which they got a lot of really good stuff if you're willing to buy leftover. I was able to get $2,500 off that price. The fact that this one had most of the stuff that I wanted on it, or actually it had a couple things more than I really wanted. I wasn't really willing to splurge for the hardtop, but I figured with the $2,500 off, it'd kind of be like a nice little free add-on. After the $2,500 rebate, that brings the price to just over $43,000. And again, that's for a 2-door Jeep Wrangler Willys with a hardtop and the convenience group, which has the heated seats and stuff. Alright, so besides the rebates, you can usually get a little bit of haggle room there depending on which Jeep you want. In my case, because I was really picky and I was set on getting a 2-door and a manual with the Willys package, there really weren't too many options for me, and I actually had to travel a few hours to get this car. Thankfully, I was able to get it in the same state, so I didn't have to worry about paying any out-of-state fees or anything like that, and I was able to get it all done before dinner time in one day, including travel time to upstate. So I was happy with that, and like I said, I wish I was able to get a little bit more off, but I'll take the $2,500 off sticker price, so don't think I came out too bad. But like I was saying, if you're not picky, and you're probably, 99% of the Jeeps, or maybe that's a slight exaggeration, maybe it's like 95% of them are automatics. Most of them are 4-doors. So if you're looking for one of those, you can save, I don't even know. You could probably get $5,000 plus off. If you're willing to buy a 24, maybe even $10,000. I'll put up the ad. I actually saw on the Jeep website that they're taking like 20% off of MSRP on some of them, or 10%. Yeah, the deals are pretty crazy, and you'll see a lot of other people online talking about crazy dealership stocks. Yeah, I guess they're having a hard time selling some of them, and if you're not picky about what model you get, maybe go check your local dealership, lowball them. Why not? See what you can get for it. Alright, so when it comes to the topic of finance, this really depends on what you're willing to, I guess, put down, what your credit is. If you're kind of in that A-tier credit, I'll put up a couple numbers. If you're willing to put like 10% down, 20% down, and let's just say hypothetically, the Jeep's $45,000. So I'll give you some examples there, and you can assume if you have high credit, like 720 plus, you're probably going to get somewhere between 6 to 8%. If you have, B tier under 720, maybe like over 600, you'll probably get 8 to 10-ish percent. And, worse than that, I don't know. I don't even know if they'll approve you if you have worse than that. Or if you're buying one of those leftover 24s, maybe take advantage of that free financing, because on a $40,000 vehicle, even putting down like 10 or 20%, you'll probably still save way more money on the 0% finance than the $5,000 bonus cash or whatever they're offering. Alright, so since this is a video about what I paid for my Jeep, I'll just give you a quick rundown on what I paid for it. So I had about $6,000 worth of equity in my Dodge Challenger, and with the bonus cash, so that comes out to a little over $8,000 down payment. And the loan amount was just under 40, 39 and some change. I got approved for an interest rate in the 7s, so might be able to get slightly lower refinancing once my title comes in, but that's what they offered me that day. And that puts me at the monthly payment. I'll check. I believe it's in the 680s or so, roughly. So that's what my Jeep costs. Next up, for insurance. And one of the reasons why I actually decided to jump on this Jeep is that the insurance is shockingly cheap. I've never had a cheaper car to insure, ever. So without further ado, my 6-month premium on car insurance is $869. And if you break that down monthly, that comes out to $144 a month. And that's also for pretty good coverage. It's not the minimum, at least in New York State. So I'm pretty happy with that. Alright, so to the topic of gas. How much does this thing cost to fill up with gas? Well, it's usually between $35 and $40. That's for regular gas. You saw my MPG test video. I was able to get 23 on the highway. Obviously, that's not real world, and my daily commute is only 2 miles each way, and it's all local driving, so I get nowhere near that on day-to-day. And right now, I am actually averaging 15 MPGs, or 14.9. So yeah, averaging 14.9 MPGs, it's not that good. To be fair, like I said, that's not really the Jeep's fault because I only do local driving. And just for some quick comparison, my real-world MPGs in the last few cars that I owned, Ford Fiesta ST, 25, Dodge Challenger Scat Pack, 12, Mustang GT, like 13, maybe 14, and those all use premium gas. So even though my MPGs are still pretty bad, the fact that the gas is 40% cheaper is a nice little savings right there. And I'd say it probably ends up saving maybe like $80 to $100 a month over what it was with premium gas. So still noteworthy. I figured I'd mention that. And yeah, the 392 is definitely a gas hog. You'll be paying for it even with a 2-mile commute. There's not really too many other costs that I can think about related to my Jeep, at least so far. I resisted the urge to do any really costly modifications or anything to it, so my pocket's not hurting, at least from that temptation. I guess ongoing costs, I would assume maintenance to be probably about on par with most cars nowadays. Anything all-wheel drive is going to have the extra transfer cases, the extra axles, that you have to change the oil on every once in a while. So I would say that the maintenance is probably going to be about on par with most cars. One big cost savings, at least for me, coming from owning sports cars for the last 5 years, is hopefully getting more than 10,000 miles out of a set of tires, because I guess I have a little bit of a lead foot and would burn through tires on that. So even though the tires are the same price, hopefully they'll last like 40 to 50,000 miles instead of 10,000 miles before I have to change a $300 tire. Yeah, one other thing I did want to talk about is value. Obviously value is a subjective thing. I guess looking at the competition, the Jeep Wrangler was a little bit cheaper than a Ford Bronco to get something equivalent. And I actually looked, Ford changed their pricing for 2025. To get heated seats in a Bronco, it's like almost 50 grand. I priced it out, I think it was 48 or 49. And call me soft, I can't live without heated seats anymore, and the heated steering wheel is nice too. And especially in a 4x4 where you're going to be driving in the middle of a blizzard, I want heated seats and the heated steering wheel too. So I was not willing to compromise on that, and shelling out 50 grand for a Bronco just to have those, I don't quite think it's worth it. Also noteworthy, I kind of feel like the Bronco is really the only true competitor to the Wrangler. If you want a true off-roading 4x4 style vehicle, if you want to have the option to choose between 2 doors, 4 doors, convertible, automatic, manual, you at least have the choice with both of those vehicles to get it pretty much exactly how you want. So I gotta say, I think the value there goes to the Jeep, which is why I picked it. I will say on the plus side though, the Bronco has a lot of cool features about it to where maybe it's worth it to you. Like, I really like that you could get the 35s on the Sasquatch package, and you could still get a manual. But then that would be like an extra $5,000 on top of the already $50,000 for a Bronco, and yeah, I just didn't think it was worth it. I think that the Jeep's a good value. They have a lot of good rebates and deals on it, and if you're not picky, you could probably walk into any dealership nearby and get a ton of money off a sticker price on it. And like I said, even being picky, still being able to at least get the rebates is not a bad deal, in my opinion. Alright everybody, I think I pretty much covered just about everything that I wanted to talk about, or that I could think to talk about when it comes to value and cost on my Jeep. If you got any questions, make sure to leave them below. I'll do my best to answer them, and thanks for watching.